I go, here I go. Yeah, here I go, here I go.
Welcome in, everyone, to yet another episode of The Take with your host, Jackson Burleson, of course. And in today's episode, we have a very special guest, the catcher for Florida Atlantic University's baseball team, Ian Collier. I appreciate you hopping on, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So you being a Texas native, you're from Plano, which is right outside of Dallas. Just kind of tell me, like, what that was like to go from Texas to Florida to play baseball.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an easy transition. I mean, I love Florida. Everything about it's been awesome. I know the team welcomed me in here, and it's nice having the beach around, seeing palm trees, getting able to, something I'm not used to in Texas. You know, you got the heat as well in Texas and Florida, so similar in that aspect and a lot of great baseball. So.
Yeah, and the heat is definitely hitting. I'm sweating a lot. I don't know why, if it's this room or what it is, but we are not outside, so if anybody wants to roast me about my sweat, go ahead. But that's besides the point. So let's go ahead and start. Like, baseball is just, you know, it's the oldest game. You know, the sport has been around since, you know, longer than any other sport. So just like growing up, watching it, what originally got you into it?
I think it was kind of, you know, my family was a big part of it to begin with. My grandfather played baseball for the longest time, and he was, you know, big on throwing the ball to me in the backyard when I was growing up, and, you know, he's a big reason that I started playing the game, as well as my brother also is 5 years older than I am.
I heard he's a catcher too.
He was a catcher growing up, so I was able to watch him, and that's just what kind of got me into the game, was a little bit of both sides, just, you know, having my grandfather tell me stories about when he used to play and how much he loved the game, and then as well as my brother, just being able to watch him firsthand.
And so, like, before high school, obviously you have, like, the middle school stage where you're kind of getting into kid pitch, and it's starting to ramp up a little bit. The level of seriousness starts to go up. When did you realize, like, hey, I want to play college and I want to go potentially pro one day?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have an exact date for you, but there's I think as you grow up, like, loving it, I think you know that every year you just want to keep playing and keep playing. And
right.
I remember people ask me, they're like, you know, you've played for a long time. You ever think about stopping or, like, you getting burned out? And I said, no, there's no part of me that wants to burn out. And that was probably over 10 years ago, and I'm still playing the game and still wanting to play every single day. So.
And did you play summer travel baseball as well?
Summer and travel growing up, and I mean, I think definitely by that middle school time frame, you're kind of looking there going, you know, I want to play in high school and I want to play in college after
That's
that.
a lot of games too, like playing
a lot of games.
You know, middle school or high school and then going straight into the summer.
100%.
Just like, what do you miss about just those summer tournaments? Because you're playing with a lot of guys that you may know and some guys you may not know as well.
Baseball world's really small, so a lot of those guys I played with in summer ball and even high school ball, like, are still playing today, and if they're not, a lot of them I keep up with pretty well. So it's awesome. The thing I miss the most is I'd probably just say the guys. I mean, some of the travel tournaments are super cool, going to Atlanta, Jupiter even.
Cool.
We'd go to Houston, different stuff of the sort. So just spending time with the guys, going to new locations, playing some of the best competition around. Who
were some young arms that were coming up when you were playing in the summer leagues that you were like, dang, they can throw the ball?
Yeah, Ryan Johnson was one I played with on the Dallas Tigers. I know he's in the Angels organization now, doing well. And then I'm trying to think who else. Tyson Neighbors was one I grew up playing with. He's I forget what organization he's in now, but he got drafted out of Kansas State a couple years ago. So just some guys that I knew well from the Dallas area that, you know, playing with me.
And what was it like? Because Texas baseball, it's really, really good. I mean, it's one of the best in the country. Absolutely. So just coming up like in that kind of atmosphere and having to be on your A game every single night in high school.
Yep.
How did that prepare you for college?
Oh, I think it's, you know, you never know who's watching, you never know who's around, you never know, you know, the other people that you're playing against, and baseball, you can never take a game for granted. That's one of the most important things. Anybody can really beat anybody out there. So just, you know, always learning to bring your best, bring your energy, find where that comes from, just bringing the right attitude and energy to every game. And
so you and your brother share a similar position, catcher. What has he taught you since you've kind of been in the position?
Yeah, no, growing up, we played everything together, whether it was football in the front yard, we'd go to the field, play baseball and whatnot. And, I mean, he stopped playing once he got to high school. But just growing up, I mean, I think he taught me a competitive edge for sure. Being 5 years older than I am, he was always bigger than I am. He kind of taught me that I had to bring the energy, bring something else to the table to try and beat him, because I was always fighting an uphill battle against him.
So how many siblings did you grow up with? Just you guys?
Just one older brother.
So you got a little competitive in the household
for
then.
Sure.
And I'm sure the older sibling thing is like, yeah, I want to be the best. Like, I don't want my little brother to be better than me. But at some point, you guys are going to get to an age where it's like, oh, maybe the little brother's kind of trying to creep up in there. Was there ever a time like that where it's like, yeah, maybe he's catching up a little bit?
Yeah, it got to a point where it became less like, less competitive and more like we were just trying to help each other be successful, and we'll still get competitive now as little things. I mean, we'll turn on the Wii Sports or the Mario Kart and get competitive with that. Even, today, we did that at Christmas break. We were playing Wii against each other and just getting competitive with it. But, we really try to see each other's best, and want each other to succeed well and everything.
And seeing your success on the field kind of translate and be like getting the notice of college scouts right away, just like before you even were even getting offers or anything like that. Like, what was your mentality on like trying to get like an opportunity to play in college?
Yeah, I just wanted to put myself in the best opportunity possible to play, whether that's how I'm playing, making sure I'm reaching out to schools, and then obviously with the teams I was playing on in summer ball and whatnot, we were being in the right tournaments for people to see us. So just, really trying to do my best every day. I mean, not worry about things that are out of my control and give myself the best opportunity.
And like some people have a different recruiting process. Like some are like, say it's fun and easy. Some people don't like it. Like, what was your takeaway from just having the recruitment process under your belt?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough in high school a little bit with like COVID because they changed the rosters and a lot of scholarship stuff, but it all ended up working out pretty good for the most part. I'd say I got to experience it again with being in the portal last year, and there's a lot that comes with that. But I'd say overall, like, I wouldn't say it's the most fun thing that you want to go do all the time, but it wasn't too bad for me. And
so you landed on Texas State. Why?
I went to junior college first.
Oh, you went to junior college before Texas State.
Yeah. So
okay, gotcha. So like, why was the JUCO route important for you to take?
JUCO route was really important, and honestly was a big decision that I'm really glad that I took, because I went and played for Coach Dusty Hart at Grayson College, which ended up being at Blinn College.
Right. Yep.
So it's been awesome. Those were some great years of my life. A lot of those guys that I played with in those 2 years, I still call some of my best friends and talk to them, day to day. So I loved the junior college route. I think you get to play immediately.
Why do you think it gets such a bad rep, though? Because whenever someone says something about JUCO, it's like,
I don't know. I think people just think like the academic wise, but I say now like a lot of people are really starting to appreciate junior college baseball players and just like what you learn and what you have there. And I mean, you can't deny that when you're playing on a team that's been successful 4 years at whatever level it is, NAIA, D3, D2, D1, JUCO. I mean, if you're doing well and you're winning there, I think there's something special to be said about that coach and that program as well. And so,
like, being at Grayson, like, what was the ultimate decision? Like, hey, I'm going to go here and start my career.
Yeah, I had some Division I offers. I had some junior college offers. I was just trying to, decipher and really find the pros and cons to both. And, with some of the stuff, like I said, with COVID and the scholarship changes, I just decided, going junior college and being able to play right away in this kind of backed up Division I time where there's so many players in Division I baseball, like I can go give myself the best opportunity to play every day and actually grow. And I'm glad I was able to do that.
Yeah, the development part as
Absolutely.
well. Because, it is kind of hard to develop if you're not playing a whole lot. You can still do that, but makes it a little bit tougher.
Playing baseball is one of those sports where you really only can get better by actually playing the game. You can take swings in the cage all day, but until you get out there facing a live arm, there's nothing that compares to it.
And so, like, when did you realize, like, during your first JUCO year that you were like, all right, I think I'm, ready to take the jump up to D1?
Oh, yeah. I think it was in high school. Like, I was ready to play Division I baseball then, and that's the thing I think about, especially in Texas, junior college and Division I baseball, they're so similar. Over half the guys on Grayson and Blinn's roster were either at a Division I already or were soon going to be at one. So it's very, very close. You got a lot of Division I guys there. So I think I was always ready for it ever since high school. I think just going to junior college was more getting me the reps that I needed in order to show up and be ready to go at Division I.
And so you went from JUCO D1 back to JUCO, is that right?
No, I went Grayson to Blinn to then Texas State and then to FAU.
Okay, gotcha. So like you spent 2 years at JUCO, and when you were at Blinn, you guys had a lot of success. You guys made the JUCO World Series, and just kind of tell me like what kind of fun ride that was like? And
Oh, it was unbelievable. So I was sitting playing summer ball in the Northwoods League in July. Maybe it was late June, and I had my coach call me up, Dusty Hart, who was my coach at Grayson the year before. He goes, "Hey, I'm taking the job at Blinn. I want you to come over and play for me." And I was like, basically right then was like, yeah, I'm in. Like, just gotta talk to my parents, I guess. But like, I'm in. And that ended up being like the best year of my life. So Blinn was amazing. Fall, we were pretty shaky, weren't sure how we were going to be as a team, and was a little worried. I'm not going to lie to you. But then over Christmas break, I mean, we got some key components in from Division I guys coming back, and was able to kind of settle in with a good team. And man, that was a great spring, going all the way from to the JUCO World Series in our first year as a team. I know Blinn hadn't been successful in the years before, and to make that switch, and now, believe it or not, Blinn's in their 4th year in a row.
Yeah,
at the JUCO World Series.
They're still doing their thing. Yeah,
and they're playing tonight. So shout out to the Bucks. I hope they're killing it. They're 2-0 so far. So got to keep the success rolling.
Well, how cool is it to see a program that you were once a part of, and when you leave, them still kind of having that same success that you were a part of?
It's so cool. It's all thanks to Dusty Hart. Honestly, I mean, I think he's
still there, right?
He's still the head coach there. He's the man. He's done awesome things for my career. I have a ton of respect for him, and he's leading the boys right. Still 4th year in a row. So.
I know that's fun to just get that kind of winning.
Super fun.
And just being at a college like that as well. And you were still in Texas throughout like your career, but you came back you went to Texas State. Mm-hmm. You finally got to the D1. You're like, yeah, I'm here. Like you're playing number 1 Texas in some games. It's just like, what was that like, playing the number 1 team in the country and getting to see some of the best arms in the nation? It's
cool. I mean, like I said, it's baseball is a unique sport where anyone can really beat anybody. So anybody, you catch anyone on the right day, they could beat you, and you catch anyone else and you could beat them. So man, it was cool rolling out against some teams like that. Got to play in some great ballparks. Even this year, got to play in some amazing ballparks and against some great teams. So it's just cool. I mean, the world of baseball is so small. So many guys, and a lot of the guys I'm playing against the last few years, or you'll see playing, and hopefully myself as well, playing in the future for a long time. So just awesome opportunity. Love all the experiences I've gotten.
And so, like, as a catcher, like, defense is, like, very important when it comes to, like, being behind home plate and things like that. Just tell me, like, what your thought process is when you got a guy, like, for example, like, you got a guy leading off of first, and you know a pitch is coming, but you don't know if he's going to steal it. So, like, what are you thinking through that moment to try to get that guy out?
Yeah, I mean, you usually know for sure when he's about to take off. You're more just getting yourself ready in the right position, still just worried about the pitch first, and trust your training, and know as soon as he goes that you're just going to transfer it right and put the throw on the bag. Just be as fast as you can. But yeah, it's definitely, you get a little bit of anticipation there, thinking that he might take off right here on you. So it's good. It's a good feeling, especially when you throw him out.
Yeah, throwing him out is like, how is it dealing with, like, fat, like, you guys going to be speedy on the bases?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, trying to do more isn't going to help you much. I feel like just staying smooth is the main thing. If my pitcher doesn't give me a shot, then I don't have a shot. But as long as he gives me a shot, then just stay smooth. And
like also just offensively as well, just like kind of looking at your numbers you went from Texas State and then now to FAU. Mm-hmm. Your numbers went up like in a lot of areas. Your slug, OPS, batting average were all career highs this year. Like, what went into like seeing those numbers get to where they're at?
I think this summer was a big part of it. I got to go back home and train with the trainers I've trained with, and hit with the guy I've hit with for years now, and just really staying focused on the plan and taking strides forward in a lot of ways. Just being prepared for this year, I think, was a big part of it.
What went into the decision to go from Texas State to Florida Atlantic?
I think I went in the portal after last year and was just looking for a ride home, and then after talking to Coach Collier here, I mean, he had a lot of exciting news about FAU baseball and the directions they were trying to go, and it just kind of fit into what I was looking for. Also, the American Conference is a great conference and a lot of competitive teams, so I was looking forward to playing in another competitive league, and just getting the opportunity to play baseball in South Florida is a pretty cool opportunity within itself, and then to play for a winning coach and Coach McCormick, and just playing a great league. I think what else could you ask for?
McCormick and the influence he's had on your career, just being here for so long.
Yeah.
Just kind of talk to me about like what being around a guy like that is like?
He's got a bunch of baseball knowledge. He really, the way he manages the game, the way he talks to us individually, talks to the team, you can tell he's been around the game for a long time. And it's great playing for a guy like that who's got a lot of knowledge, cares about each player individually as well, and is able to see maybe flaws, whether it just be how you're carrying yourself that day or whatnot, and he can really just point it out to you and be like, hey, like I'm noticing this. And being a first year here, he definitely had some things to say just about how everyone's game is, and it was cool to see how he interacts with the players and everything. So it was really cool getting to play for him this year.
And it's just unique because you don't get a lot of managers in the college ranks, at least, that have like almost 20 years at one program nowadays, especially with like the transfer portal players are usually not at a university for 4 years, but having a manager like that where you have some continuity to a place that's brand new to you and you have a teammate coming with you from Blinn. How much easier does that make when you have all of those components in a new place?
I think it's great. I mean, I played on a bunch of different teams, and summer baseball is a big one where you just kind of roll out there and got to try and play with a bunch of new guys. But having a coach that, cares about you, and having, like I said, Marshall as a teammate who had been through it for a year, it was pretty special. And
so just like, I feel like watching some of the games you've been a part of over your career, you've been in some crazy comebacks, you've been in some other games where you're on the other end of a comeback. So just, we can kind of touch on specific examples, but like just, you talked about how baseball is just, it's long, you got to, keep your mind on like one play at a time. Just tell me about like, some of those, like, being on the end of a comeback, but also, sometimes, you get that bad end of the stick as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough sport. Like, you never know what the game could bring. You could be winning by a ton and they come back, and it's one thing special, like I said, about baseball is you got to always throw the ball over the plate and get that third out. So, man, I've been on the side of some really cool comebacks and
then not so cool.
And then some not so cool ones. So I say either way, it's just baseball is a lot of fun, unique sport, and never take a play for granted. I think it's the ultimate thing on both sides of it, because you're always one swing away from a good game, and you could let them come back and not be so good as well. So.
And also having a guy like Kide on the mound who's like a redshirt sophomore come into his own. Like from what I heard preseason, there wasn't a lot of expectation on him being like a guy who's going to deliver you a lot of innings, but he ended up being that guy for you this year at such a young age. What's it like being behind the mound, kind of seeing a guy like that start to blossom into something at the college level?
Kide's awesome. He works really hard, and he threw really well this year for us. And I think that was a big part of our season, and a lot of wins we had, like trust that guy on the mound, and working with him behind the plate was really special for sure.
And like also you have that, you're having that communication with the pitcher constantly. You have a bunch of signals, even sometimes you'll tell them what to throw. What's that dynamic like?
Oh, I mean, you got to be tight with those guys. I mean, just knowing how to communicate with them. If I have to go out to the mound and either, slow them down, calm them down, or fire them up and say, hey, need you right here, bring your best, like, give it all out there, lay it out there on the line. We need you right here. Whatever it might be, it's good to have the communication with them, and then obviously we're working through what we want to throw each guy, and then just making sure I got a good target set up for him.
And every pitcher's different. So how do you like go about, all right, like this guy pitches a little bit different. How do you kind of change the way you approach being behind home plate when it goes to pitcher?
Yeah, some guys, you got to go out there and just be real gentle with them. They're already worked up and they're hard on themselves, so you got to slow them down a little bit and just say, hey, I got you here. Make your pitch, deep breath. It'll be cool. And some guys you can really go out there and kind of get into and fire them up and almost yell at them if you got to. Be a little aggressive and assertive and be like, hey, like let's go. Let's pick it up. And a lot of guys will take that well, as and it fires them up. And
it feels like in a way the catcher is the extension of the manager.
For sure.
Because sometimes you're the one giving the mound visit. Like, what's that like? Just trying to be, almost the coach in a way until the other manager comes out. It's like, all right, let's get you a couple more pitches. Let's settle you down. Like, what's that like? Trying to be the first guy to get him going.
It's cool. I mean, there's some responsibility with it, but as the leader of the field, as a catcher, I feel like I've learned over the years how to deal with some of that and how to talk to the players and coaches and be a good bridge between the two. I'd say that going out there, making mound visits, just got to understand what we're trying to do. If we're trying to kill some time or if we're really trying to just, make sure he's in a good spot or what we're trying to do and then just go from there. But, man, catchers, they've been said that catchers make the best managers one day. So I think it's the experience you get now that kind of trains you for coaching potentially one day. Some guys really, like Coach McCormack, for example, was a catcher when he played.
Oh,
so,
okay.
You can name a lot of different managers who have been catchers.
Has coaching ever been a thought for you?
I've definitely thought about it. I mean, right now in my life, I think the only time I want to play ball as long as I can.
Right.
And then, but maybe later. Maybe, if I have kids one day who want to play, I think that could be an opportunity as well.
And so being at FAU, your first season, you guys went 28-28. Obviously not the most ideal year for that, but then again, you can look at a bunch of games where it's like, oh, you guys were, very close with some really good teams. Like, Miami, you guys played really close. Florida, you guys played really close. I mean, being right there with some of the top teams in the country kind of goes to show the record kind of doesn't speak how good you guys were. Would you say that's an accurate assessment on your season?
Yeah, I agree. I think we were really close with a lot of teams, and I think that we could have also won a lot more games than our record showed. I think we were right there, like you said, multiple times, and we had some injuries early in the year that didn't really help us out, and just some setbacks throughout the year. But I mean, you can't blame any of that. I think we played really well for the most part, and we should have had a lot higher of a record. We had a big rut in the middle of the season and came out of it. So I'm proud of our team and what we did this year. And
just like being in a conference like the American, there's no slouch teams ever. You can't take a night off. What's it like playing in the American Conference?
Definitely. I mean, it was top 5 conference in college baseball this year is what I heard. I don't know if that rings true still with what happened with, the tournament and the regional, but you can never take a night off. I mean, going out there, no matter who you're playing, anybody can beat anybody, and it was a very competitive conference this year.
And you guys played East Carolina at the end of the season, the last 3-game stretch. They were the top team in the conference. They got the bid into the tournament. Just kind of, you guys lost 3 in a row there, but you guys still had to turn around and play in the conference tournament. How did you handle that adversity in a not so ideal part of the season?
Yeah, definitely not ideal being on a 3-game loss heading to the tournament, but I think just trying to keep our head on straight and know that the tournament's all that really mattered for us. Like those games, they obviously matter, but we needed, even if we had won all 3 of those, we still had to go win the tournament to see a future. I know we didn't do as well in the tournament as we had hoped, but I think just kind of being able to flush that and know that, hey, the most important thing is all in front of us right now.
And you guys got in the tournament and basically were winning the entire game. And then it came to the 9th inning, and then it kind of just opened up on the defense. That's just got to be absolutely gut-wrenching to be winning and controlling a game like that, and at the last minute it kind of just slips away.
It is for sure. I mean, there was no doubt in my mind going into the 7th, 8th inning that we were going to come home out at a W with that one. Man, that's just, like I said, it's baseball for you. Stuff changes so quickly, and you never know, and that's why you got to be locked in every play, every pitch. But, yeah, definitely gut-wrenching. But, like I said, it's baseball. It happens for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy sometimes where you get these weird last innings. I feel like against Miami, they scored I think 7 in the 9th. Just you kind of get into a flow state like that. I'm sure you've seen it as well, where you're just hitting, you can't seem to not get on base. Just like seeing both of those sides and being a part of both of those sides of baseball, just tell me obviously which one you want, but in reality, how is it being in both of those kind of situations?
Like I said, it can be really exciting and really enjoyable on one side, and it can be really, like you said, gut-wrenching and kind of just defeating to be on the other side of it. Like I said, you can never get too high or too low in baseball. You got to kind of stay even keel with everything, because you could have a big inning in the 8th, and then they might have their big inning in the 9th. So you got to always be ready to punch back and just keep it rolling.
And also, you mentioned kind of summer baseball as well. A lot of guys tend to do that. What is so important about continuing to play during the offseason instead of recovering? I
think there's a big key to both. I mean, some guys really view the recovery aspect. Some want to go play a ton of games. I think being able to go play is, like you said, one of the best ways to get better at the sport is to go play it. So it's all about development in summer ball and a good time. I mean, I've had some of the best times in summer ball, going and playing in Wisconsin and getting to travel around and play a bunch of games, meet a bunch of new guys, stay in great host homes. I mean, I loved my experience in summer ball. Some guys might, have a little different experience, but I'd say it was a big part of my career for sure.
So host homes, you see you guys had like families like actually having the team around and living together. That's how it worked, right?
Yep. So I was just assigned, one home with some host parents, and sometimes they'd have kids. And it was just awesome to fully, for however long I was staying with that team, I'm staying with that family, and they're cooking for me and they're shopping for me, and sometimes they use
It's
their
nice
car.
to take that responsibility out of it.
It's definitely an experience for sure. Waking up the first morning and you're in someone's house and they're sitting out in their living room and you're just kind of a part of it. So it was pretty cool.
Is that like weird in a way, or is it kind of like just different?
I'm very grateful for it. I mean, they know why I'm there to play ball.
Right.
So I'm very appreciative that they're opening it up for me, and I want to give back to them and hope, give their experience as good as they're giving my experience, everything. So they're making my time easy and making it enjoyable for me, and I just want to be grateful and appreciative for what they're doing, and they've all been awesome. So
that's cool that you get that opportunity to just meet so many people and travel a bunch of different places, because you've just transferred everywhere. Like there hasn't been one place where you've just been sticking out through your entire career. Do you always look like, hey, I wish I was at one place, or do you always look back at the journey and be like, I wouldn't change it at all?
I mean, you can always look back, but I'm just grateful for what I've been given, the opportunity I've had. I mean, I love every step of the way, and each way's brought something new and different. So,
and comes to the catcher position specifically, any guys that you idolized growing up?
Rangers fan, so I like Pudge a lot. I feel like he was one of the best, and Yachty for sure.
Those two guys. What stands out about those guys that made you want to watch them compared to others?
I think just like the energy that Pudge brought behind the plate, and he was just really solid in everything that he did. And then, Yachty is just a magician back there, throwing guys out, back picking guys, just so aware of every aspect of the game around him. I think it's just pretty special to watch.
And what part of catcher do you think is more important, like the defensive side or the offensive side of it? Because offense is just hitting. So
yeah, definitely the defensive side. I think guys play baseball for a long time that can just defensively catch really well. I think offensive's all bonus. So being able to, hit for some power and get some hits is very important as well. But I know now it's definitely becoming a more offensive position. A lot of guys are starting to really hit. The catchers really hit well. So
yeah, you hit almost 300 this year.
Yeah.
Like 300 as a catcher, I mean, that's really good.
I appreciate it.
So, what is it like being in a groove like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's good being able to hit a little bit and score runs. I mean, hitting home runs and doubles is a big part of it, and every baseball player likes hitting home runs and doubles. So it was good. Just had some ups and downs throughout the season, which is classic, but just staying on point and trying to help the team win every way I can.
And I watched the Miami game. I don't remember which one. If it was I think it was a February one, where you popped one up, and then I think an outfielder on Miami didn't get it, and you got all the way to third somehow. I think you got a double, and then I think they weren't able to pick up the ball, or no, I think they threw it behind home plate, and then you ran to third. I was like, that's one of the craziest sequences I've ever seen, because you were popping it up, probably running to first, like, well, there's no way this guy is not going to catch this. I'm probably just going to be out. But you ended up getting all the way on third base and really helping your team in that moment. Just like it seems like you don't really remember the play that much because you're probably in the moment. But
I don't remember it too well. But yeah, just trying to play hard all the time. You can't, got to play hard and try and even when you pop those up, you never know when it might land.
Yeah, that's why you got to keep running. And so, during the season, you guys are probably running pulls all the time. Just
not too much.
What is the conditioning part of baseball like to get ready for the season?
We do quite a bit in the fall here. We have our Iron Owl too, which is kind of a week of just like aggressive. Maybe it's mental, athletic, weight room type stuff, strength stuff, running. That's just kind of competitive it's a whole week of just basically everyone competing against each other, and we're also on color teams. So the teams compete against each other, and then everybody overall is competing. I think it's really cool just to have a competitive nature about you, and the best teams are going to compete against each other before they compete against any other teams. So I think being able to compete, try and win, and then obviously get the conditioning piece in that week,
Right.
right before we go home for the break.
Those are probably not. You're probably really sore on those days.
Yeah,
right?
we're waking up early and running parking garages, or doing gauntlet out on the field and whatnot. So just a lot of different things are thrown into Iron Owl.
I wanted to ask you. This is like random because I've always been curious about like how catchers like squat behind the like home plate for so long, because I've tried it. I don't know how you guys do it. Like I'm always on my knees. Like, all right, I want to get back to standing up again. How do you get used to that? I've
been doing it for a long time now. I've been doing it almost 20 years, squatting down behind the plate. So I think I'm used to it at this point. I mean, there's some days you're way more sore than others, but it's part of it. And doing multiple days in a row, it just kind of becomes second nature for you.
Because I don't know how you guys do it. I don't get it. It's not a natural position to be in. So it's like, how do you do that? And you're not sitting on a chair or anything like that.
No.
And you're right behind the batter, so you could get hit.
Yeah.
I don't know if have you ever been hit by a bat behind home plate before?
Definitely. All the time. Backswings will get you, foul balls will get you, everything. I think catchers, we got a little bit of a screw loose in some ways, and some people might think, and it's just a different breed of guys back there being willing to sit back there, catch a lot of games. I mean, there's a lot of respect for catchers out there, and it's not an easy job all the time, but it's definitely it's fun, and it's very rewarding as well.
Did you play any other positions growing up, or was it just catcher?
I played every position growing up, just moving around. I pitched, played shortstop, played first base, outfield. I played outfield in junior college as well some, so just kind of being all over the place. So
do you miss being in the outfield, not squatting behind home plate sometimes?
No, I love catching. Catching's my favorite. I mean, there's some days that would be cool to go experience other positions as well, but no, catching's what I've always loved. And
being behind there, you're taking some like heat with that glove.
100%.
Does your hand hurt after a game?
Some guys get it more than others for sure. You start throwing real hard, you catch a couple off the palm, it'll sting you for a good amount of time. But no, it's just, like, again, something you kind of get used to. Hand kind of hurts all the time sometimes, but it's nothing bad. It's just part of it, and you get used to it, and I love it, honestly. It's just part of it.
What's the hardest pitch that you've had to catch behind?
I've caught 100 before. Yeah, I've caught. And it's... How's
your hand feeling after that one?
It's like, good. You can honestly kind of... Catching different guys, you learn to slow the pitches down. Even guys throwing 95 or whatnot, like it seems firm, but when you see it every day and you get so used to it, you can kind of slow it down in your brain. Same as hitting.
Now, how would you slow a pitch down how would you do that?
Just mentally, you see it all the time. You get used to the speed. Just breathing before the pitch is released and being relaxed back there. You can able just to track it a lot better.
And also knowing what's coming.
Knowing what's coming helps out, of course. Yeah.
Do you usually know what kind of pitch is going to get thrown, or are there times where you don't exactly know?
Always know what pitch is going to get thrown. Whenever I'm behind the plate, hitting, obviously you don't know what's coming, and that's what makes catching a little bit easier than hitting, obviously, as it should be. Just understanding what's going to be thrown, knowing my different pitchers, what their different pitch shape might be. Some guys, their slider moves a little more than another guy. Some guys' fastballs, might sink or run. So just understanding each guy as well.
And I know there's a lot of back and forth where the pitcher's on the mound going, nope, nope. You're like, is there any part of you that's like, no, that was a good pitch. Let's run with that one.
Definitely. There's sometimes I disagree with what they want to throw, but ultimately he's the one who has to have the confidence in the pitch he's about to throw. So I'd rather him be really confident and go down with his best or what he thought would have been his best than throw something he doesn't want to throw, and then they hit that one as well.
And also, one thing that I'm just curious about the catcher position in general, because it's just so different than any other position. We've kind of been talking about the responsibilities, but there's also an art to it as well. Framing up pitches into the strike zone sometimes. What's the key to framing?
Yeah, I mean, whenever you're framing or receiving a pitch, I think just you're bringing everything back to the center. And I know with ABS now, it's becoming a big deal of stealing strikes and making sure it's right. So I'm not sure if the art of receiving is going to go away or if it's going to remain as true. But I mean, just trying to be slow, or be quick, but be smooth. If you're just smooth with it all, you kind of can move your glove efficiently and catch the ball, bringing everything back to the center.
And what do you think? What's your feeling about the future of framing potentially being up in the air when it comes to the higher level of baseball? Because you just mentioned the ABS system and how it's a part of the game as well.
I don't know. I hope the catching position doesn't lose any of its kind of art, because I think there are so many different aspects to it. And if you go to different umpires, whether it be just the ABS or like robot umpires, or I know they're talking about all this different technology eventually and bringing the human component out of it, I think you just lose a little bit of the art of catching. So we'll see. I mean,
and what would you say to people that are like, well, it's either a strike or it's either a ball. There's no like framing it in there or anything like that. Because I know there's some people that say, well, it's a strike.
Yeah, I mean, I think being able to manipulate the umpire a little bit is good, knowing that my ball might have been a little bit off and I got that strike for us. But also at the same time, when you're hitting, you kind of want to know the zone, and guys who know the zone better than others usually end up hitting better than others. So you don't want to take away from somebody else as well.
And adjusting to different zones and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like how do you do that?
Just like to the hitter's zone?
Yeah. Like, because everybody's different heights and things like that.
Yeah, it's so similar. I usually treat everybody about the same. I mean, some guys will be just a little bit, it's more of where they align in the box and like where we're trying to attack them. Some guys, if we really want to throw them in, just how I'm setting up differently to receive that pitch properly. Or if there's, if we want to throw them away more, just depending on the pitch, trying to preset myself to be able to catch the ball well.
Because there's more responsibility to being a catcher than people may realize. What's one hidden thing about the position that we haven't touched on already that most people may not even think about?
Let's see. I don't know. We kind of touched on a lot of it. I think throwing guys out is a big part of it. We touched on that. I mean, blocking the baseball, I think, is one of those that people sometimes just take as, oh, he blocked the ball, but it could really impact the game in a lot of ways. I think it's a big thing that, you got a guy on third base and your pitcher throws 150 feet, and, you got to be willing to stand there and knock it down at any cost, just because you never know what that run could mean later in the game.
You can't have that wild pitch going back there, or even it's even worse when there's a guy on base. Yep. And you kind of have to get back there and run it. I saw this. I don't remember. I think it was Florida. I want to say.
Okay.
There was a play where you threw the ball you got a guy out. You threw it from front of the Florida dugout. I think you threw it to third base?
Threw it to second base.
Second base, and you got the guy out. Yep. I was like, the angle you were at and the distance you had to run to get to that baseball was just insane. What's that kind of like, being able to throw somebody out in that kind of angle? Because it's a little bit different than being behind home plate and doing it.
It was very different. That was it was just a routine ground ball that I forget how we missed the ball, but it ended up against the dugout, like you said. And, I run down to first base multiple times a game, even backing up first base for like an infield play. And you never, ever get the ball, it seems like. And, you hustle down there every time in case this one scenario happens hopefully never. But the ball got thrown behind there, and I was in the right spot and was able to runner took second base, and I was able to throw it and get him out in that scenario. And it was pretty.
And that was perfect. That was perfect. I mean, you couldn't have thrown that baseball any better. It was right on the guy's glove, so he can be able to make the tag.
Absolutely.
You were probably just like, I can't believe I'm even going over here to try to make this play.
Like I said, you run down there every time, and it's for that one time that you really need to make.
How does the
play.
Catcher's gear affect your mobility, if it does at all?
To me, it's just like a second part of my body. There's a little bit on me, but it's not doing anything crazy.
No, it's not doing anything crazy.
Nope.
And you mentioned shortstop was another position that you played, and Trevor Story is your favorite player that I saw. Yeah. Like, why was he your favorite player growing up?
I think he's been my favorite player as of late. Just knowing how he goes about the game and how he swings the bat and just the effort he brings to it. I think I've had, when I was younger, watching a lot of Rangers guys too and whatnot. Elvis Andrus was a big part of it. Ian Kinsler was a big fan. I was a big fan of his growing up.
Oh yeah, I liked him.
Yeah.
I think I have his baseball card.
Absolutely. Yeah, we had the same name, so that was an easy start. And then just the way he played the game, he was awesome. So watching all those guys, love Trevor and just how he goes about playing the game. And then all the Rangers growing up, I'd say were my favorites. But just like good baseball, man, and good guys who play the game hard and play it the right way. And I think Trevor does that. And obviously the Rangers, back when I was growing up, had a lot of great years, and they all played really well. So.
And your final college season is this one. How you're kind of sitting here a couple of days out of your last, college game in the American Conference Championship. Mm-hmm. How are you feeling that you're moving on from the college scene now in baseball?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's exciting in some ways. It sucks that it's over with. But you always got to keep moving forward, and I'm excited for what the future holds. I'm going to continue to play ball, and
where are you going to be playing at?
Not entirely sure. I know I have a contract to sign with the MLB Draft League, so hoping to go continue on playing some summer baseball there, basically, and then there's indie ball route and then pro route, and obviously anything can happen with the draft and whatnot. So just taking a day at a time and enjoying the journey for sure.
Oh, I appreciate you hopping on, man. This is a great conversation. Anybody, any question that you maybe think, I didn't ask you that, you want to go over about your career and kind of where you've been at?
Nothing crazy. I don't think so.
No? Okay, sweet.
No, it's been good. I appreciate you.
I appreciate it. Yeah, this is Ian Collier. Just finished his last and only season at FAU. That's kind of crazy. Just last and only season in this kind of day. What will you remember about this season that you'll take with you for the rest of your life?
Oh, I think I've had a lot of growth this year. Being my last year and being a grad guy, you're supposed to be the older guy, kind of have some of it figured out. I think I learned a lot this year. Just got to spend a lot of great time with my teammates. Got to learn a lot. Play hard. I think playing in South Florida with a little bit new of an environment too was really good for me, and just opened up a lot of different opportunities. Got to meet a lot of great people along the way, and I'm extremely grateful for this year. Extremely grateful for the coaching staff and the opportunity they were able to give me. And then, man, like I said, I wish we were headed to a regional coming up, but just how it goes, and one day at a time, and we'll just keep going at it.
And being on the other side, you're watching it. Obviously, do you still watch the end of the college baseball season when you're out of it, or is it kind of just hurt you a little bit as a competitor to watch?
No, I like to watch it. I appreciate good baseball, and sometimes I'll have friends on that I've played against or with. It's cool to watch them and have success out there as well. But no, I enjoy watching baseball, so I'll definitely tune into it, but would always love to be out there.
Right, obviously. Well, this is Ian Collier, FAU baseball catcher. Go check him out. I'll put your Instagram in the bio as well. But I appreciate you guys listening to another episode of The Take with your host, Jackson Burleson. Make sure to comment what you guys think about this episode. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get more of these interviews like this coming up. But we will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.
Talk to me, baby. Talk to me nice. I'm from another world, baby, yeah. Broadway paradise. They think I'm way too cold, cause I put my